Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Backlog Banter. I'm Tucker, and of course, joined by the man, the legend. He's not a myth, though. He's pretty real, as far as I can tell. Abram Buhner, welcome. Thank you for joining me, as you always
Thank
do.
you.
It's
Thank
never
you.
been a hard time getting you on here because we do this together. But today, we're going to be talking about something that's very near and dear to both our brains, our hearts, our crotchular regions. It gets us aroused, is what I'm saying. E3, Nintendo in specific, and we're going to be giving our predictions, but predictions lead to discussion. And if you would like to do discussion with us, join our Discord. The link is in the description. And also, there's a subscribe button down there. There's a like button. I don't want to surprise you. I don't want to shock you, but they are present. And it would
There's a
mean
bell
a whole
too.
heck of a lot. It would truly titillate me if you clicked them. So all of that out of the way, let's talk about Nintendo's E3. Aaron Buhner, you've got a long list, and I can't wait to hear what you think Nintendo is going. That means he has 10, by the way. He's not just
Yeah,
like
not 30. I don't have 30. And I'm not having hand spasm either. I've got 10 predictions.
give me a first one. Let's go.
A first one.
Huh.
Okay, Tucker. I have separated my predictions into different categories here. You
Well, aren't
will.
you special?
And the first thing I want to talk about are some more updates and DLC type of deals before we get into the meat and potatoes, which is the games. My first big prediction is the reason I'm wearing this Animal Crossing shirt, and it's not solely because I forgot to do laundry. It's also because I think we're going to get a substantial Animal Crossing New Horizons update at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be the big summer blowout. It'll be the next big proper update to the game. I think that it'll probably be summer themed, obviously. So I think we bring back Cap'n. Maybe you bring back his island and the mini games, considering how
Sure.
much of a focus there is on multiplayer and New Horizons. However, Tucker, one big asterisk I want to put on the corner of this.
Mm-hmm.
I want actual new ideas in this DLC update.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't want it to just be a retread of what Cap'n has done in New Leaf. I don't want it to just be, let's throw Brewster back in and call it a day. I want some actual substantive new mechanics, whether that's farming, cooking, hunting, whatever they want to add. Get me back in Animal
Hunting.
Crossing.
That's different for Animal Crossing. It's a different energy to have. But I'm actually just going to spell off that because one of my predictions is that Animal Crossing New Horizons gets a summer update as part of the trailer. Although I would like to add another asterisk. Not really, just kind of a more thing. I think this will also be the announcement of the Zelda items being added to
Sure.
Animal Crossing. And I think honestly, just from what we've seen of New Horizons and its update rollouts and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised if the focus was much more on those Zelda items and not the new stuff that as Animal Crossing fans were wanting, especially considering I think this is going to be, and I'll just spin into one of my predictions here. I think this is where we're actually going to learn what the Zelda 35th anniversary is going to look like in a larger way. They've gotten all their Skyward Sword stuff out of the way. Skyward Store. I'm tired, man. But I do think that we get at least another announcement of some sort of Zelda port, and Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay trailer is also still coming in our predictions and discussion. I assume for both of us, but I do think that transitioning from hey, this is stuff in Animal Crossing Zelda stuff is awesome. You got your chests, you got your rupees, you got your fucking hook shots, and we've got a new game as well. A new game probably being a port.
Tucker, imagine this for a second. Imagine if you could get the moon from Majora's Mask and you just like pull it out of your pocket and hold it up and all the animals around you like cower. How fun would that be?
That would be
I think
fantastic.
I don't think they're gonna get nearly that clever, but I think there could be there's some cool stuff there.
Well, they did. I mean, honestly, probably one of the coolest things in one of the updates is the Mario pipes allow you to travel around the island.
True.
Like that's really damn clever and actually
That's
useful
fair.
as well. So we'll see what they do for Zelda. I mean, imagine like they add like a hookshot tool that can you can pull yourself across the island or something. That'd be awesome.
That would actually be pretty cool. Hookshot yourself between trees.
Exactly.
That'd be pretty sick, Tucker. Also add Metroid items and fuck it. If it's gonna be an anniversary thing.
Yeah.
Because those are already in New Leaf. So just bring them back, you know?
Yeah.
Tucker, let's talk for a second, if you will oblige me, about
I might.
Nintendo 64 games on Nintendo Switch Online.
Oh, that's
So some people say Game Boy. I think that the next logical thing is instead N64, and you accompany that with probably a price hike. personally believe that the future of Nintendo Switch Online is a more premium price tag to get you more premium features.
Sure.
And I think that that probably starts with N64 games. Now, we've seen Nintendo, of course, break out your Mario 64s and things, right? But I don't
Just Mario
necessarily.
64.
That's a good point. But I don't think that's prohibitive. I don't think that stops us from getting just emulated versions of these games, especially without
True.
3D All-Stars on sale. So I think, honestly, that that's fairly likely to happen. But I do think that it will be accompanied by maybe you got to pay $5 more a year or something.
Mm-hmm. And I would see that update being not the 2025 games we were getting for SNES, NES at their launches. I see that as a best of maybe 10 N64 games. And you have a very constipated grin right now, and I would love to know what's behind it.
Well, I was going to say, Tucker, that those weren't 2025 games. Those are like 1994 games.
Yeah. Good. Great joke. All right.
No, but I think you're totally right about that.
Yeah.
Because I love the N64's library, but it's not as big. And
No.
even if you want to scrape through the bottom of the barrel for like your mega robot baseball games or whatever that are being added to NSO right now for SNES, like you have to find some pretty weird shit. So I think you're right. And these games are much bigger. They're
Sure.
way more involved. There's way more meat on that bone for a lot of them. So I think that's probably fair to curate a small handful.
Yep. And of course, you know what that means? Everyone has access to Star Fox 64, presumably
say it.
with a rewind feature, which makes it incredibly accessible. Obviously, it's preloaded on everyone's Switches now. So, good Lord, you're gonna have a heyday. Be like, no, just play the game. You literally have it already. So shut the fuck up. But I think that another thing that is pretty reasonable as an expansion, quote unquote, to Nintendo Switch Online, something they're going to tout as one of their big focuses this year, is Super Mario Party 2 is revealed with a much bigger focus on online. I think them setting up online in Super Mario Party was an intention to see what the servers are going to be like, see how people are using it, because they're collecting all the data, they're farming data from all of our Switches, and they want to know, okay, what would be the best to focus on for this second game, for how we're going to run these servers. And I think that its substantial focus online will be pretty interesting. And I think it'll bring people back to Mario Party, because clearly online brought people back to Super Mario Party, even though that game is 3 years old and didn't have a lot of content. People still started playing it again. And I think a new game with better lineup of content and a huge focus online would be really fun. I think that's a reasonable prediction, and it would make me very excited, because I've never personally bought a Super Mario Party game. I think I stole Super Mario Party from a friend, which is why I have it. But but I would love a Super Mario Party 2.
I want to make you double down. When's it going to come out?
Let's go with August. I don't think they'd give a shit about it overlapping with No More Heroes 3.
That's interesting. So I didn't put that on my list now. But that's a curious one. Personally, I see Mario Party 2 now as a 2022 game, not only because I think that there's other stuff that's probably going to fill up the back half of the year that we're going to get into, but also I wonder about adding online multiplayer to Super Mario Party and then immediately releasing Super Mario Party 2. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, much weirder things have happened. Mario U Deluxe.
Well,
and then Mario
much weirder things have happened. They added online multiplayer to Super Mario Party after 3 years. That's weirder things have happened.
Yes. So we'll see. I would like to be wrong about that. I want you to be right. I do enjoy Super Mario Party quite a bit, but it's very bare bones. That said, the only problem with that game is a lack of content. So you take that foundation, you build a house on top of it, and I think you got a pretty compelling title. Now, Tucker, I've got 2 more DLC things, and they're Smash related. You ready for a Smash rock block?
Considering there are 2 Smash I don't have any Smash predictions in here, by the way. I mean, the general prediction that we're gonna get at least one of the characters here is, I think, a sentiment no one would disagree with. But in fact, I would say that's probably the safest thing to expect out of the C3 is at least one character reveal.
That's why, Tucker, I've assigned characters to both reveals, because I want to go there.
Now, before you espouse your predictions, I I would like to note that I always love hearing your predictions because
Yeah.
I can never know before you say them if it's gonna be bullshit Abram predictions like haha this would be fun because I would like it and everyone else would hate it, or if they're gonna be like actual reasonable predictions I'll get people excited, not Abram Biener.
These are real big boy predictions. It's not me saying, oh, I want fucking Captain Rainbow and Slippy Toad and QB because I want all of them.
Yeah, I know. Well, we know.
The first one, Tucker, I think is going to be an Echo Fighter.
Okay, as one of the confirmed DLC characters, like a slot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think it's going to be Cynthia from Pokemon.
Hmm.
And I think she's going to operate like the Pokemon trainer. Give her Piplup, Grotle, and Infernape. Because you gotta give some kind of now that Nintendo is running the Fighters Pass picks more or less, they're doing some marketing, of course.
Yeah,
and you want something new for
like
Pokemon.
Of course with Sephiroth, which is selling Final Fantasy VII Remake, selling great on Switch.
Yeah, so it's a little bit shaky, you know. Anything you come up with to justify Smash for this character is a little bit shaky. But the fact is, a lot of the picks have been pretty marketable, have been about let's get attention to X franchise, Y franchise. And I think you got to have something for Pokemon. Now, you could give like a Cinderace for Sword and Shield, but I think since all the focus is on Sinnoh stuff,
yeah,
you throw it a little bone, you know?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe add Garchomp, but that's kind of lame. So I went with fucking Cynthia, 'cause that's kind of neat.
That would be pretty interesting. I think the only downside I would have to that is that I just don't want more starter Pokemon playable. I really that's boring. And considering how cool of a team Cynthia has, if they went with Pokemon she canonically doesn't even have access to, I'd be like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. But also, I like those Pokemon. It'd be real damn fun to play. Well, you know, I would prefer if it was Turtwig, Prinplup, and Infernape, just to swap the Squirtle and Grotle sections, because Grotle probably wouldn't play too different from Ivysaur if we're being honest.
Well, I was trying to think like how could it kind of be an echo? Well, you just kind of throw Piplup can do what Squirtle can do, Grotle can do what Ivysaur can do, and fucking Infernape can do like a blaze kick or whatever. No, Blaziken does blaze kick. Doesn't matter. Fuck it. My other prediction, Tucker, is Leon Kennedy.
Okay, as the end cap for the Nintendo Switch video game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter Pass 2.
Yes. I think that Capcom is very important to Nintendo, and I think that they're going to get another rep. There's rumors abreast, pardon my language, that we're going to get a third Resident Evil Revelations game, which is not super rumory, more like almost confirmed by that Capcom data breach. So there's a very close relationship between these companies. You would think maybe Monster Hunter Man would come over, but then they threw that shit as Mii Fighter costumes, you know. So I think that also those are more like avatars. If you want someone who's immediately iconic, it's Leon Kennedy. And I can already see the trailer, you know, he's like creeping around, maybe like the Minecraft zombies is bopping and scatting over here, and Ridley's over there, you know. I can see something happening. I think Leon's a pretty good bet.
That would be really cool. And I didn't come on into this with predictions of who I think it is. I've had some established in the past. I think that the end cap for this, in terms of excitement and general closing of the Ultimate Smash game, would make more sense to be two third-party characters, considering from this past we've already gotten two first-party characters. My bad, Min and Pyramithra. So 3, 2.5, whatever. And capping it off with who I see as the two final must-adds, which is Crash and Master Chief. I think that would be the ideal way to close it in terms of ultimate game, iconic video game characters, all of that. But I don't want to go too far into that because I don't. Those characters have been talked to death. But one thing I do want to go into is I do think that this is where we see Bayonetta 3. I think it's been long enough. Mum's the word for goddamn ever. And I think we get a full gameplay story reveal trailer here, because all we've had is a teaser. And this game has been stewing for long enough where it would be very reasonable to get this game finally.
Is it a 2021 game?
No. No, not enough marketing for this game yet, because all it's been is a teaser for 3 years.
I don't think we're going to see it. I think what's more likely is we see it maybe in like a September Direct for a 2022 reveal. And the reason I think this is because Platinum Games is so fucking busy.
Mhm.
They're showing their new game Babylon's Fall at Square Enix's showcase. I'm sure a lot of resources over there. Kamiya was just working on Wonderful 101 Remastered.
Mm.
It seems like they pretty obviously just announced Bayonetta 3 way too early.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone disagree with that. Yeah.
But the reason I really feel that is that they're like, hey, here's Bayonetta 3. Okay, now we're gonna go make Astral Chain, and then we're gonna go make Babylon's Fall, and then we're gonna remake Wonderful 101. I think that there's still some time to go.
Okay.
So we'll see.
We will see.
Tucker, let's talk about two more things before we get into the meat of what I think 2021 is gonna look like.
Okay.
I think we get a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer
Yeah.
and a Treehouse gameplay demo, but the
Okay.
game comes out in March 2022.
All of that sounds incredibly reasonable and kind of fits what my predictions are as well. Because I've got
Right.
one of my predictions being that we see that gameplay trailer, that full. Because all we've gotten is
Yeah.
announcement of its existence and essentially a teaser trailer. And I think showing off the differences in the world, a couple of the new gameplay mechanics, what you're going to really be focusing on in terms of dungeons and mechanics and stuff. I think that would be, I mean, reasonable to expect, but also incredibly exciting because
Yeah.
sequel to fucking Breath of the Wild.
My supposition is that we'll see mainly a cinematic narrative trailer with some hints about gameplay, and then they'll be
Okay.
like, "Okay, join us immediately after to see this gameplay in Treehouse."
Okay.
I would imagine that it might end the show and begin Treehouse. I think that
Oh,
kind
that
of
tracks.
it caps the show and makes people stick around. I think that's probably what they would do.
Sure.
Now, do you want to give another prediction,
Well,
or do
one
you
of my
want me to go
predictions
now?
was
Okay,
Breath of the Wild
sure.
2 trailer. So
My other trailer, Treehouse gameplay demo, maybe even the announcement of a global test fire is Splatoon 3.
oh, okay.
And I think Splatoon 3 launches in the same position as the original Splatoon, which is May 2022.
Let's see,
So
2022 just recreating the Switch's launch lineup 5 years later. Let's do it.
yeah, kind
Let's
of.
get a new 3D Mario. Let's get ARMS 2. Let's get Splatoon 3, Breath of the Wild 2, Mario and Rabbids 2. Let's just completely
Yeah.
the next Monolith soft game to end off the year.
Get Pokken Tournament DX2.
A new Pokemon tournament would be pretty awesome. That's not one of my
Pokken would be
predictions,
pretty awesome.
but that would be really cool.
But no, I think Splatoon 3 will get a trailer. I think it'll get a Treehouse gameplay demo. And then they'll be like, hey, if you want to try out the game, try it out maybe in like July or something. It would be a little bit early, but I think that it's probably going to be important that they really make Splatoon 3 stand out, so I think that the earlier they get info from players and have that time to develop the game and implement some ideas, maybe even do
Sure.
another thing where we're going to do a Splatfest that's going to have like narrative consequence for the full game when it releases, like they did with Chaos versus whatever the other team was, lawful
Order?
good or
Would that
whatever.
make sense?
It might have been Order, actually, I don't remember, but that's that.
I mean, it would be very exciting to see the game just in action and them
Yeah.
talking about, especially at a treehouse, what the changes are going to be, because I do think that they're going to be leaning really heavily into this because Splatoon 2, especially at launch, was one of those games like, yeah, it's more Splatoon. It's great,
Yeah.
but what's new about this? And I think they've realized, especially with the extended development time or relatively extended development time of the threequel that is coming out next year, that they want to lean pretty heavily into, hey, this is what the continuation, the evolution of the Splatoon franchise is going to be.
I mean, that's my most anticipated game announced, period.
Mhm.
I mean, Splatoon 2 is my favorite game on Switch. Splatoon 1 is my favorite game on Wii U.
Mhm.
It's just logical. So I'm very
Yeah,
excited.
it tracks, that follows. I think if I'm to continue my predictions, I think we also see our next Kirby game here. And
Okay.
we've talked about this next Kirby game for many moons, and it's never particularly exciting because I mean, I don't know. I've never been excited for a Kirby game announcement, mostly because the last few haven't been particularly exciting. But I would love to see it announced here, and I think maybe released way too late after announcement, like Star Eyes was. But I think just confirming the next Kirby game is very reasonable for them to do, considering how long it's
Yeah.
been since Star Allies. So I'm going with cheap, lame predictions here, but I think that it's likely that we get a trailer for next Kirby game.
For 2021 and 2022.
Um, I think 2022, considering my
Yeah.
my prediction that it comes way too far after its announcement.
Yeah, that's why I almost think that we might see it at like the September Direct or something.
That's also true. And one thing I've been noticing, me talking about this stuff, when we made a video about how exciting this E3 could be, and we're
Yeah.
already loading this direct with announcements
Yeah.
that would already be killer in any other direct. And there's no way they hit all those points. And I think spreading it out would be more feasible for them to do if they're now having all these games that can actually be announced and revealed and released. They'll make a great E3 direct here that we won't be disappointed in. Well, hopefully, a man can hope. And then another also good, very good direct later in the year.
Yeah.
Whether that is with a Super Mario Part 2 and a Kirby and a Bayonetta 3, that's already a 1, 2, 3 punch of big announcements. So
Sure.
and that still leaves them a lot of stuff to talk about at E3.
Yeah, so now we're into my predictions for the actual games releasing for the rest of the year. And the way you got to think
They're a
about
busy
it.
fucking bee.
Yeah, well, I feel like I haven't said anything that's too unreasonable. A couple trailers for 2022 games, a couple DLC predictions. But now we get into the bulk of the matter, in my opinion. And of course, I don't expect all 10 of these things to be there, but these are you got to play the field,
Mm-hmm.
So the way I look at it, we've got space for a September game,
Yeah.
an October game, and a December game.
Okay.
And we could possibly double up in August or November.
Sure.
I think it. So we'll see. We'll see if they double up at all. But moving sequentially, Tucker, I think that the first game that will be announced for September 2021 is going to be 2D Metroid. Now, I have my confidence in this game's existence has been shattered by another round of completely untrue Switch Pro rumors that throw everything into jeopardy, in my opinion. But for a year and a half now, people have been saying new 2D Metroid from Mercury Steam is coming.
Yeah.
And it only just seems logical considering they did Samus Returns. People really enjoyed Samus Returns. Allegedly, this new Metroid game is already done. And I think it slots in nicely in a kind of a September window with or without a Switch Pro. I honestly think that a beautiful Metroid game is not a bad way to show off a new handheld. So I think it's coming. I think September 2021, and that'll be one of the few key new first party E3 announcements, or second party, I suppose. Mercury Steam is second party.
Yeah.
No trilogy, no Prime 4.
That's pretty reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm actually just going to let you do your spiel here. I'll comment where I see fit, but I've already sort of run a little bit dry on my predictions, especially because you capped, you stole quite a few of mine, and I was able to expand on them. But what's next in your insane prediction list?
Next October is Donkey Kong. I think Donkey Kong takes the Odyssey window.
Donkey Kong Banana Blitz HD.
So what has been brought to my attention on Twitter, and I think is a really reasonable point, is that Donkey Kong games sell very well. 2D Donkey Kong games are a big deal. They have been holiday titles before, and I think it's unfair to ignore that precedent. So I think that a big Donkey Kong game in that late October window, like Odyssey, like I said, makes a lot of sense. Again, my confidence in this is shaken because this reporting is not as ironclad as the Metroid stuff is, and I even feel like the Metroid stuff is in jeopardy. So we'll see. That said, Tucker, I've been doubling down on 2D Metroid and Donkey Kong Country since the beginning of 2021 when we did our initial predictions. So I'm sticking to my guns.
I don't remember if you even mentioned Donkey Kong. I think you're reversely predicting that.
People can go watch that video and tell us in the comments.
But I will go watch that video and tell me in the self.
Okay, but I'm almost positive I said Donkey Kong Country. Okay. If I didn't, I should have.
Sure.
And I'll go back in time to fix that if I ever get a time machine.
Yeah, gotcha. You get your priorities straight, and I respect that.
Yes. Then we get to November, BDSP, and I think Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker HD.
Sure, yeah.
Whether they're sold individually or in a combo pack, what I think is probably most likely is that you could buy them separately for $40 each, or here's like a steelbook case that has both of them in it, and it costs like $80, and it comes with a little temporary tattoo. Who cares? But I think that those are going to come. I was thinking maybe they go in August, but I think that's probably too much Zelda back to back to back. I feel like you got to give Skyward Sword time to breathe, and then these ports time to breathe, and I think you basically do nothing to them. They're already on Wii U. They're already great. Yeah. They've already been retouched for that console. Just fucking fart them out onto the eShop, frankly.
You would need to retool the the Tingle Tuner Miiverse stuff to
Yeah, I
work
guess.
with Switch, because Miiverse is fucking gone and
Yeah.
dead and buried and stomped on its grave. But that's pretty minor in the consideration that those games already both look fantastic. I mean, they did on GameCube, but the HD ports would translate very nicely to Switch.
I don't like how Twilight Princess looks. I think those character designs are ugly and make me nervous. That said, give me Wind Waker. That's fine. By the way, that's the only port I have. I'm tired of people asking for ports and remakes. Ask Nintendo for new games, god damn it.
Yeah.
Such as my last prediction, Tucker.
Okay.
December 2020, in the Xenoblade / Smash Ultimate spot is Mario Kart 9. That's my last major prediction. I think it's time. I think that they want that big fucking Ahuga announcement for this year.
Yep.
If with Breath of the Wild missing, with this stuff, I think that drop Mario Kart in there and end the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You've already got me going on that one. I mean, the stuff that you have leading up to that, I'm like, okay, we already know about Pokemon remakes, which is kind of, I bet, what they're going to be leaning on for that holiday season is, hey, look, you can play this fucking cheap ass Pokemon remake. Everyone's gonna love it. Isn't it great? But then we've also got these relatively B tier franchises that are still things that people are excited about.
Yeah.
A new 2D Donkey Kong and Metroid are like, that's a solid year already, but I do think having that one thing to really cinch the year around, being a Mario Kart, that would be fantastic. Because there you go. Oh man, 2017 Mario and Zelda, 2018 Smash, 2019. What the fuck happened in 2019? What was the big game? Oh, I guess Pokemon. 2020 Animal Crossing, 2021 Mario Kart, 2022 Zelda again. Yeah. Switch is always pumping out games, boys. Forget about 2020. It didn't happen. But no, that would be very exciting.
Those are my predictions, Tucker. We'll see how many come true. I don't know. Do you have any more you want to add?
I don't think anything necessarily in particular. I think the fact that there still are other relatively reasonable games that we could see that we didn't even talk about just proves how obviously strong Nintendo's IP and lineups are, but that we could be leading into sort of a resurgence of games coming out consistently and being super exciting. We've still hopefully got another Fire Emblem game coming out. They're not stopping making those games. We didn't talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is now confirmed for February.
January 28th.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. Well, even earlier. And we'll probably get some information about it around E3, whether that's in the Direct or in a Pokemon Presents. But I'm just very excited because I'm excited for all those games you mentioned. There's not one that is sort of middling for me. I will get all those games at launch, and it feels good to be back in the spot where it's actually reasonable for Nintendo to be releasing all these big tier games.
Yeah.
And of course, that doesn't count the Nintendo surprise factor. We don't fucking know what they're going to announce. It's more than likely that 75% of what we said is not true, and they're going to pull something out of their ass that makes no sense to us, but will probably be pretty cool. New IPs are possible. Spin-offs for games that we didn't even think of are possible. So who knows? E3 2021 is ungodly exciting. It's ungodly exciting. And good Lord, I can't wait.
It's also very soon. I don't want to say how far away it is from right now because we'll probably put the video up late.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, it's very soon, no matter if it goes up now or when we eventually put it up. We're on the precipice of learning what the second half of Nintendo's 2021 is going to be like. That's pretty exciting. And I think you're totally right. They've said that they're looking to invest in new IP. There's always, like, who would have predicted the Warriors games we've gotten or Mario and Rabbids? It could be another key partnership somewhere. We'll see. I'm very excited.
One of the final things was the WarioWare stuff being weird. That could be something I'd see announced and released or announced in one of the later directs, because I don't know if that's an E3 level announcement. But also, Nintendo doesn't give a fuck. They'll announce anything whenever they want, and people will eat it up regardless. So we could see a WarioWare game.
I'd be excited by that.
Yeah.
But Tucker, I think we should get out of here. We'll
so.
leave the conversation to the audience. If they want to share their predictions in the comments or the Discord, it's up to them. We're not going to tell them what to do, but we'd certainly like them to talk to us.
Yes, we would. and we will see you guys in other videos and hopefully in the Discord.
Goodbye.
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum ba bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Ba 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 da ba ba
What if
ba
this
ba
one
ba
perfect? What happens if I do
ba
that?
ba ba ba
That's pretty good.
ba bum 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 bum. Dun, dun. Mario Maker has a great fucking theme. What you goddamn tell you?
I absolutely agree with that.